Okay, here in this session we'll see work done by the impeller on water. Here velocity triangle diagrams are there. Now when it is going out from the center outside in pumps, this will be inlet velocity triangle and this will be outlet velocity triangle. So inlet velocity triangle in line with the vane, whatever velocity is there, that is relative velocity. The angle at this particular point will be obviously theta. Now it is being rotated in anti-clockwise manner, that's why there is u1. Obviously this point will be, because of r1 distance and then omega, u1 will be r1 omega. So this is u1. So here also the equation holds good. u1 plus vr1 will be equal to v1. And in pumps, generally this v1 is made perfectly radial, so that a radial entry it is called, and vw1 becomes 0. You know that the component of absolute velocity in the direction of the vane, that is this way tangential, is called as vw1 or velocity of whirl, and it is made 0. Now when you go out of this vane, in line with this, what comes out is vr2, and the angle made is obviously phi here, and this is u2. u2 is given by r2 into omega. So equation is vr2 plus u2 is equal to v2. The component of v2 in the direction of u2, which is nothing but vw2 or velocity of whirl. Now knowing this much about inlet and velocity, inlet and outlet velocity triangles, we'll see here work done per second. Work done is force into distance, and distance per second is time. So this particular term u is distance divided by time, that is this, and this much will be nothing but force. You know that the force is mass rate of flow, rho a v1, into change in velocity. Change in velocity is vw2 is there is no vw1, because of that it will be only vw2. So mass rate of flow, change in velocity multiplied by distance moved per unit time, that gives you work done per second. Now work done per unit weight, if you want, this is work done by the whole liquid divided by its weight, rho a v1 into g, that is m into g. So this cancels out. Very simple expression, work done per unit weight will be vw2 u2 by g. Then u2 is pi d2n by 60, we know, and these expressions are by the trigonometric relations of the triangles. The discharge q is given by pi d1 b1 vf1, which is equal to pi d2 b2. You know that pi db is nothing but peripheral cylindrical surface area through which the water flows, and velocity of flow is vf1 or vf2 at the entry or at the exit. Now also the work done per unit weight per second is given by this equation, which is known as fundamental equation of centrifugal pump. Look at this, there are three parts in it, because when impeller works on water, earlier velocity v1 gets to v2. So v2 squared by g minus v1 squared by g, that will be gain in kinetic energy. So this is change in kinetic energy of the liquid. Similarly, this expression gives you effect of centrifugal head, and this expression gives you change in static pressure energy of the liquid. So this equation is known as fundamental equation of centrifugal pump. So what we should remember from this slide is work done by the impeller per unit weight of the water is equal to a simple expression vw2 u2 by g. Okay, here heads. There are a number of heads which are defined here. So here there is a sump, there is a suction pipe which delivers the water at the eye of the impeller, and then it through the delivery pipe into a tank. So this is called center of or eye of impeller. Now you can see here, first one is suction head, HS. Here it is denoted. What is HS? Is nothing but height difference of center of impeller to the water level in the sump. That is known as suction head. Now from the center of the pipe up to a tank level where the water is delivered, that is known as delivery head, HD. Now sum of these two, suction head HS plus HD, this capital H with a suffix S, is known as static head, which is summation of suction head and delivery head. Okay, here there will be some losses inside this pipe which is added as HFS, some losses here also in the delivery pipe which is known as HFD, or head loss due to friction in delivery pipe. So summing up these losses, it becomes what is known as manometric head, HM. And then to this HM or manometric head, if we add losses in the impeller and casing, so obviously when the water moves here, there will be some losses. They are called as losses in impeller and casing, denoted as HLI and HLC. Now if you add these losses to the developed head, we get what is known as VW2U2 by G, which is already we have discussed that is the work done by the impeller. So equation becomes manometric head is equal to VW2U2 by G minus the losses due to impeller and casing. So equation that we should remember from this slide is manometric head developed by the pump, manometric head HM will be equal to VW2U2 by G minus the losses. What is VW2U2 by G? We have seen in the earlier slide. It is nothing but work done by the impeller per unit weight of the water. So that is what you should remember. We'll stop here. We'll see in the next video.